The first of all Arabian countries to discover oil in its land, Bahrain has one of the fastest growing economy in the peninsula. Its name Bahrain means two seas because it is surrounded by sweet water springs and salty seawater. It is actually the smallest of all Arabian countries and is an archipelago made up of 33 islands, some of it reclaimed land. It was even theorized that Bahrain was the cradle of the lost Garden of Eden. Unlike its neighboring country, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain has opened its door to tourism and is actually a favorite destination during Islamic holidays. If you want to avoid the crowd and the traffic, you can visit Bahrain at any time of the year when it's not on any observed holiday. Here are some 10 things that you will definitely want to know about Bahrain. Buses and taxis are the only forms of public transportation in this country since most residents and expatriates have their own cars to get around. Taxis charge different rates depending on the time of the day, and airport taxis also follow an entirely different rate of their own. It would be good to familiarize yourself with bus routes as these can be cheaper. Some tourists offer taxi drivers to take them on a tour for the day around the country for a flat rate. And, yes, the country is so small that you can drive around from one side to the other in a day. The diverse fauna in Bahrain can be perfect for animal lovers who go on regular animal spotting trips. Bahrain is home to 330 species of birds. One of them is the endangered houbaro bustard that flocks the islands during autumn. Other beautiful animals such as gazelles, desert rabbits, and hedgehogs are out in the wild. There are 21 recorded species of butterflies, 25 species of reptiles and amphibians, and 18 species of mammals. Dugongs, marine turtles, and dolphins are also preserved in their marine territories. There are wildlife preserves that also boast of not only fauna but a wide range of flora. The Bahrain National Museum is a 3-decade-old well-preserved museum and is still one of the often visited institutions in the country as it showcases the history and boasts of the local archaeological finds from 5,000 years ago. Bahrain was actually a cradle of ancient civilization. There is also an ancient burial site transported to the museum and a tableau depicting Bahrain as the paradise of Dilmun. Just next door to the Bahrain National Museum is the Bahrain National Theatre. This French design architectural masterpiece is a beautiful waterfront complex that houses 1,001 seats. It is the third largest theater in the Middle East where every nook and cranny is a delectable piece of elegance, and bringing a camera is certainly a must if you want to capture everything for show and tell with friends and family from home. Even looking at it from afar will remind you of a gold foil-covered chocolate sitting atop your goose feather pillow when you come home to your luxurious hotel room. Due to the country's rich history, some sites were hailed as UNESCO World Heritage Sites to preserve them. One site is the Pearl Trail in Mosque, which will take you back in time as soon as you stroll the streets. Buildings, oyster beds, and even a seaside fortress are all in the trail. Another UNESCO World Heritage Site is the Qalat al-Bahrain, or the Bahrain Fort, which served as the center of Dilmun civilization. The fort, which was atop an artificial hill, was a strategic location for politics and military. There are many other historical sites in Bahrain, such as the very first oil well in the peninsula, and even streets lined with old dwellings that still house families. Now, we're not saying that you should just stick to all the ancient sites, but you can still get a taste of the modern Arab world with Bahrain's malls, water park, and recreational centers. One that attracts locals and tourists alike is the Bahrain International Circuit. You may be thinking that an Arab country this small can't possibly have its own racing circuit. But you have to remember that they do love cars and that racing is one of those thrill-seeking activities that isn't condemned by their culture. The circuit costs an estimate of $150 million and the construction was initiated by the Crown Prince Sheikh Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa himself. We bet you won't believe that one attraction that draws in approximately 50,000 tourists a year is a lone tree in the desert. Called the Tree of Life, that stands alone on a hill in the Arabian desert, it has long been the center of speculation. No other form of plant life exists in its immediate vicinity, making it such a riddle as to how it is able to sustain itself. Some say that it must have a vast network of roots that may be drawing water from an underground stream, or that it must have learned to draw moisture from the air. Either way, no one would dare take this tree down to find out. It is always suggested to adventurous and brave travelers to try a local market to be smack dab in the middle of the place's unadulterated culture. You get to see people haggling and shouting, the chaos, and the clash of modern and traditional. The good news is Bahrainis are actually pretty respectful in that they won't harass you with their goods and wares, unlike at local markets in other countries. Evening is the best time to visit the Manama Souk. You get to experience the bazaar in all its glory, waft spicy and sugary scents coming from stalls of spices and dessert shops, stalls of colorful and intricate fabric and traditional clothing, experienced tailors who can sew you a custom-made suit for less than $200, and a section for exquisite pearl and gold jewelry. You may even enter the Kingdom of Perfumes, a section where European and local scents and oils abound. You get to experience a little Pakistani, a little Indian, a little Persian, and Asian in this wonderful souk. One of the premier tourist attractions in Bahrain is the Al Fateh Grand Mosque. It is among the world's largest mosque and Islamic center. It is a good thing that the mosque is open to the public and even has tours in most languages of the tourists. The grandeur is like nothing you've ever seen. The dome is completely made out of fiberglass, the marble floors were flown in from Italy, the chandeliers are from Austria, and the doors are made of Indian teak wood. The calligraphy inside the mosque are to be considered a high form of Kufic art. Not only is this a place of worship, the mosque also houses a library composed of 7,000 books, some of which are a century old. Once every quarter, Bahrain hosts a party called the Lunar Fest on the Aldar Islands. It is one of the hottest party scenes, considering that it is a cultural festival of some sorts. Tradition, culture, local art, local games, music, and food are all showcased in the most fun and extravagant way possible as the organizers try to outdo themselves every single time. Adults and children participate in this merrymaking over the course of a few days. Bahrainis try to include expatriates as much as possible to give them a feel of the island life. To culminate the event, an adults-only party will take place. If you plan on visiting Bahrain, you could try checking on when the next Lunar Fest is and try to include it in your itinerary. Bahrain is a country rich in culture and history and is sure to leave your senses full long after your vacation is over. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to tune in for more videos like this. We'd love to hear from you and even read suggestions of what to feature next. Don't forget to leave your comments down below and have a great day.